Franklin Delano Roosevelt was born in the year 1882, a time when cars did not exist. His earliest wheels were horse-drawn carriages or buggies. Since he lived on a farm, perhaps he occasionally enjoyed sitting on a hay wagon. It's hard to say when FDR first experienced riding in a car. However, by 1910 he was using one as a political tool when running for his first political office, the New York State Legislature. He rented a two-cylinder, bright red Maxwell touring car whose owner drove him around Dutchess County. Festooned with flags and bunting, it certainly frightened horses who were not used to seeing or hearing anything quite like that. The residents in the area were probably a bit amazed at this newfangled contraption. FDR would stand in the car and give speeches to farmers, a pretty impressive sight. FDR wanted to own a car. After he was elected state senator, he mentioned to his mother, Sarah, that he really ought to own an auto. Sarah immediately bought him one, a 1911 Hudson, which she presented to her son on his wife Eleanor's birthday. So his love of cars started. By 1928, FDR had another car, an impressive-looking Chrysler. This had been fitted with hand controls because after he contracted polio in 1921, his legs were paralyzed. Cars became a necessity for independence. FDR loved traveling around the Roosevelt estate in his car. He eventually had two different Ford Phaetons, always blue, his favorite car color. The second one is on display in the FDR library. Not only did it have hand controls, but a device that dispensed lit cigarettes for him, the ultimate in luxury. As governor of New York and later president of the United States, FDR was often driven around. However, when he was at home in Hyde Park, he loved to sneak out early in the morning and drive around in the woods before the Secret Service was aware he was gone. When they realized the president was missing, they would frantically search for him. He always managed to elude them and greatly enjoyed racing through the woods in this game of hide-and-seek on his property. At FDR's Warm Springs, Georgia residence, he owned a 1932 Plymouth Phaeton. Then his brother-in-law, Hall, gave him a white 1940s Willys Overland convertible as a birthday gift. While governor, FDR purchased a 1932 Packard and added a custom-made hood ornament. It was chauffeur-driven. After his election to the presidency, FDR donated the car to New York State. President Roosevelt's more famous official car, a 1939 Lincoln convertible, was called the Sunshine Special and especially modified for him. The name derived from the fact that it had a retractable roof and FDR always wanted the top down. It also had a siren, running lights, a two-way radio, extra-wide running boards, and grab handles for Secret Service agents. FDR traveled on trains while campaigning across the nation. It gave him the opportunity to relax between speaking engagements and even play a few hands of poker as they were rolling along the tracks from one destination to the next. A different set of wheels, wheelchairs, enabled FDR to easily move around indoors after he contracted polio. FDR designed the wheelchairs he used, which were kitchen chairs with legs removed and wheels attached. When polio took away his ability to walk, FDR's wheels gave him mobility and independence. He loved all the wheels that provided it to him, wheelchairs, train, and especially cars. And by the way, there was another Roosevelt who loved cars too.